While editing might sound like the simplest part of a movie's production, that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not just putting footage in a timeline, it's determining everything about how that movie will be perceived. In the editing room, a movie's entire tone can change on a whim. No big deal, right? It's only everything. An editor, often working side by side with the director, has the ability to reshape the film as they see fit. However, as we all know, with great power comes great responsibility, a maxim the editors of the movies on this list couldn't live up to. Here are the movies that were ruined by really bad editing. Justice League. The Justice League movie didn't swing the DCEU around, much as Warner Brothers had hoped it would. Instead, Justice League sank into rotten territory on Rotten Tomatoes, with slipshod editing being among critics' top complaints with the film. Due to Zack Snyder leaving midway through the film's development and Joss Whedon taking over, there are two distinct tones in Justice League: Snyder's grim realism and Whedon's campy optimism.
Okay, yeah, here's the thing. See, I'm afraid of bugs and, guns and obnoxiously tall people and murder, and I can't be here.
While that's not the easiest issue to fix in the editing room, it is something the film's final cut should have done a much better job of rectifying. Worse yet, the haphazard editing led to important exposition being cut from the film in order for the studio to achieve its desired 2-hour runtime.
I honestly didn't hear anything after "We're all gonna die."
These are just some of the biggest reasons fans continue to petition for a purely Zack Snyder cut of the film. Sadly, even that rumored version likely wouldn't be able to remedy Justice League's largest editing flaw, namely mustachioed Superman. The solution to digitally remove actor Henry Cavill's mustache, which only existed when he returned for reshoots, was ham-fisted and blatantly obvious in the final cut. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Sorry, DC, we're not done with you yet. One of the most high-profile cases of bad editing in recent years was Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. The biggest point of contention most people had with the film was its running time. Clocking in at 2.5 hours long, the film was simultaneously really long and way too short. How could a film possibly be both? A lot of important exposition was left on the cutting room floor, leaving audiences feeling the characters' motivations were underdeveloped. At the same time, most agreed that the film had a lot of fat that could have been trimmed down. While Warner Brothers released an even lengthier director's cut that did alleviate some of the plot holes and character motivation issues found in the theatrical version of the film, the theatrical cut had already left a negative impression on millions of viewers.
She's the king! Find you soon!
Alien Covenant. Misguided editing and pacing issues squandered the potential of Alien Covenant. The film inserts lengthy sequences of exposition, seemingly at random, so that scenes built to provide context ironically end up further confusing the entire narrative.
You were too human, too idiosyncratic, thinking for yourself. Made people uncomfortable.
Worse still, in the movie's horror moments, so much unnecessary foreshadowing was left in that by the time anything actually scary does crop up, the audience is aware of what's going to happen 3 minutes too early.
Breathe on the nostrils of a horse, and he'll be yours for life. But you have to get close.
Transformers: Age of Extinction. In a movie titled Transformers, a franchise widely known to be about giant transforming robots punching each other, there's absolutely no reason for the majority of screen time to go to a human cast and their tiny, fleshy problems. You'd be forgiven for forgetting that Optimus Prime is even in Transformers: Age of Extinction. The film's editing completely drops the ball and treats its robot aliens as a subplot, clocking in at an exhausting 2 hours and 45 minutes. This film chooses to prioritize downright embarrassing sequences.
She's a minor.
We're protected by the Romeo and Juliet laws.
We dated for a little while. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. It's fine.
One can only hope there's an alternate reality where this movie's editors decided the heavily advertised Dinobots received more screen time than a father and daughter discussing the suitability of short shorts.
Sweetheart, your shorts are shrinking by the second, okay? Cold water, air dry, please.
The Snowman. The Snowman was a movie caught in an unfortunate position right out of the gate since, according to director Thomas Alfredson, he and his production team weren't even able to shoot the whole thing before moving into post-production. It's troublesome projects like these where editing becomes the defining aspect of the film, often becoming the only way to fix a problem movie, especially once the shooting budget is gone and the crew is out of time. You've probably heard this phrase before.
We'll fix it in post.
Well, we'll fix it in post. I'll fix it in post.
If you didn't guess it already, The Snowman was not fixed in post. Beyond creating tonal inconsistencies throughout, the shoddy cutting openly exposes the film's nightmarish production history, smashing from shot to shot so sporadically that one can practically tell that there wasn't enough footage to work with. Suicide Squad. Sorry, DC fans, but here we go again. Suicide Squad is the rare example of a studio publicly advertising a movie as one thing, panicking, then completely reshaping the same film all inside of one frantic marketing blitz. Need evidence? Check out the insane differences between the movie's first trailer and second trailer. It's this complete overhaul of the movie's tone that contributed to a lot of the negative reviews. The general consensus is that in Warner Brothers' haste to reshape the movie in a more electric, upbeat style to match the popularity of Deadpool, they created a muddled product that spat on director David Ayer's original vision.
Do something! Touch me! Do something! You wanna see something? Yo, yeah, I wanna see something! Yes, I wanna see something!
Warner Brothers did more than just confuse the tone of the movie by usurping editing power from Ayer and his team. The execs also cut out a lot of Jared Leto's Joker.
Blah, 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 blah.
Fantastic Four. There's no easy way to say it. Fantastic Four's 2015 iteration was a failure both critically and financially. While the movie had a lot of bright spots and sported entertaining experimental ideas, its overall execution was slaughtered by a plotting editing that gave the team superpowers over halfway through the film. The late bloomer mentality resulted in the movie having only one major superhero and supervillain throwdown in the entire film. If that massive editing faux pas sounds like a deal breaker to you, just know that the director himself agrees. Director Josh Trank badmouthed the studio's cut on Twitter before the movie had even released. In the now-deleted tweet, he said, "A year ago, I had a fantastic version of this, and it would have received great reviews. You'll probably never see it. That's reality, though." Taken 3. Taken 3 is a severe case of death by 1,000 cinematic cuts. It plays out at the speed any other movie would run if you accidentally hit the fast-forward button several times in a row. If you blink, there's a pretty good chance the film will have already barreled into another scene entirely, leaving you absolutely lost. Unfortunately, while some films choose this speed as part of a broader stylistic choice, Taken 3 uses it because whoever was responsible for the theatrical cut's ending just didn't do a very good job. At worst, this editing is a recipe for motion sickness and migraines. At best, it's an intensely discombobulating style of editing that makes it hard to keep track of virtually any of the on-screen information. Star Wars: Attack of the Clones. As a wise Jedi once said, "I hate bad editing. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere." That wisdom was nowhere to be found during the editing of Attack of the Clones, the second Star Wars prequel movie. While the movie itself sported plenty of noteworthy elements, like an imaginative story, impressive world design, and some cutting-edge special effects, the one thing it sorely lacked was sharp editing. Far too much of Attack of the Clones' 2-hour and 22-minute runtime focuses on undercooked romantic and political subplots, side narratives that could have been cut down without affecting the film's overall story whatsoever. The quality of the movie could only have improved if these lengthy sequences had been cut down to their essentials, giving the happy couple enough screen time to resonate with audiences, but not so much that they overstayed their welcome. Han and Leia? Awesome. Anakin and Padme? Who cares? Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel, plus check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.